On average, every dollar spent on email marketing brings in $42. That is some major ROI, and I want to make sure that you're capitalizing on that in your business. Email marketing is one of my favorite ways to not only grow your customer base, but also work on re-engagement, which can increase the lifetime value of a customer. It's a great way to increase readership on your blog, which helps with SEO. It's a great way to get people to see your social content and drive them over there when they are your major fans. Today, I'm going to talk about some basics that you can do. I know email marketing is a huge concept, and there's so many different little channels and flows that we can build out, but we don't need to start that complicated. If you do want more help, of course, reach out to me. I'm happy to help. In the meantime, let's jump into the basics of email marketing and how to get it working for you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and ring that bell so that you get a notification every time I drop one of these videos. And be sure to like this video if it's something that you liked, because it'll help other people see my content. Be sure to give me a thumbs down, but leave me a question so I'm like, okay, what do you need help with in email marketing that I didn't cover? Let me know. Today we're going to dive into email marketing, and I use this with virtually all of my clients. It is an amazing way to see results. The stats speak for themselves. Email marketing is one of the top ways to keep yourself engaged to your core audience and increase that lifetime value. But let's dive in. What is email marketing exactly? Email marketing is the use of email to promote content that you're creating, sales that you're having, or any other messaging that you want to get directly to someone's inbox. You can use email marketing to either nurture or grow a relationship that you already have. You can make sure it's a way to keep relationships coming back for more. You can use it to actually talk to your clients directly and get surveys and get input on upcoming designs, what they like about your products, more importantly, what they don't, so you can grow and learn. It's a great way to reach them directly with new products, blogs, whatever it is. This is an amazing place to reach them directly. The first thing I want to talk about is a newsletter. Now, a newsletter is a really the low-hanging fruit of email marketing. When we have people subscribing to our newsletter, what that does is give us an opportunity to do a few things. One, it's humanize our brand. If they're not someone who's walking into our shop all the time, or maybe I am a completely online business, this is a way to write personal messaging, show team members, talk about the struggles or the behind-the-scenes things that are going on. So humanizing the brand is a huge part of this. Another great thing that you can do through these newsletters is show off your expertise. So whether that's giving them a blog that adds value to show them hey, here's some tips that I'm giving to you for free, or maybe you are talking about an award you just won. This is a great place to really put yourself up on a pedestal and show that expertise and build that credibility. When we talk about newsletters, let's start with talking about frequency. How often do you want to be putting this messaging out? Again, let's separate what newsletters are from promotional content. Newsletters are community building, again, telling those stories that I just spoke about. However, a great place to start is once per month. We do not want to inundate people with hey, look at us, hey, look at us. But once we can see how often people are engaging with your content, and seeing those stats as far as your open rates and things like that, it's a great place to jump off, and we can always increase from that point. I don't recommend doing less than once a month, and the reason behind that is just staying relevant. You want to make sure you're in their inbox with quality content that's not asking for something. The newsletter is a great place to differentiate asking for something versus giving something. And if they're a captive audience, what we're going to be doing is really highlighting all of our messaging, what's going on. It can be seasonal, and giving them something in return instead of saying, oh, by the way, here's what we're selling. Within that vein, I also want to talk about value. So this is really important in newsletters. You want to make sure it's something people want to read. Keep it short and snappy. If you're curious, about copywriting and how to keep people engaged, you can go check out my video on copywriting. But it's really important here that what we're doing is reaching out to them, giving them something in return, and educating them on something. This is a great way, especially if you have a higher priced item or a service that they're not really sure about, or maybe you have a new service that you're offering. Tell them what it's about. Tell them what they'll get out of it. This is a great way to reach out to them directly and have a conversation. You want to make sure that it's not getting too long-winded. Value is not going to be read if we are just inundating them with information. A great way to do this is make sure to include buttons so that the email itself stays quite short, but you can allow them to go read more if they'd like to deep dive into that certain topic. You want to make sure that they don't have to scroll down really far to see 5 different things. They should just get a snapshot and a headline, and then you can take them over onto your website and things like that, where you can actually start engaging a little bit further. Another thing I want to dive deeper into is humanizing your brand. Newsletters are great for that. Maybe you are the voice of your brand, so it's always going to be a message from you. Maybe, it's Mother's Day coming up, so you want to write something about your mom. Whatever those things are that are a little bit more tangible, this is where to put them. If you do have team members, I love doing a different intro from each team member. Maybe a certain person is running one of your events. Maybe someone is the person that you rely on for photography. Get them to talk about how to take photos. Whatever those things are that can really bring the team that you build and trust behind you up to the forefront so that they're like, wow, these are, an amazing group of people that are really passionate about what they do. This is a great way to really humanize. We've kind of lost this a little bit in society where you would go into your coffee shop and know them by name, or go into your butcher and know them by name. But when we do have that experience, like when you show up to a restaurant and the maitre d' knows who you are and gives you your favorite table, that loyalty that we feel at that point is super connecting. We want to have the same experience through our digital channels. So when we can actually reach out to people directly and show them who we are and what we're doing, or introduce your kids or your dog, that kind of stuff goes a long way on digital. Okay, so once you have your newsletter in place, let's talk about product marketing and product emails. These are exactly what they sound like. When a certain store that you have subscribed to is having a sale, whether it's online or in the flesh, that they have dropped their fall line, for example, when they send you an email saying all of our fall styles are here, let's get back to school shopping. Whatever those messages are, those are product-driven communications. One thing that's really important about product emails is that they do take you directly to the website. Now, getting people off of their email and out of their inbox and over to your website, where they don't just see the one pair of shoes that you teased them with, but they see all of the comparative styles. And again, we're really trying to drive not just a 1 SKU purchase, we want to have them make a 3 SKU purchase. So this is where we can have all those other pieces working together to really bona fide and build up our marketing strategy. But what we want to do is really get them over to our website. Another thing with product marketing that's really important, if you are someone who has an e-commerce website, make sure that you have 2 very imperative emails set up. Most websites that support e-commerce do have this already built into them, where you can do a couple of different web flows with automated emails. So one that I definitely recommend you setting up is the abandoned cart feature. What the abandoned cart feature is when someone goes in to make a purchase and they're humming and hawing about it, and then they just kind of leave it. We have the browser window open for 3 days and we just don't make the purchase. Or I completely close that browser window. What's going to happen when you set up this automation is they're going to get an email saying hey, you left some items behind. This is a great opportunity to maybe offer them 10% if you think the barrier to entry was that the price was too high. Or it just gives you an opportunity to kind of give them that poke again. We know it takes about 11 times seeing a brand to make a purchase. So if we can give them one more time through our automations, it's a great way to make that sale. Another email that is really important to have set up is a welcome email, and not the one that goes out to subscribers when they first sign up for your newsletter. This one is for people who make a first-time purchase. It's so important that we don't just have people making one purchase and then forgetting about our brand. We want to really increase that lifetime value. So if you know that the delivery time on your products is about a week long, make sure to have an automation set up for 2 weeks after something ships. This has given that person a chance to try your product or give it as a gift or whatever those things are. And then you can actually reach out to them and be like, hey, what did you think of product X? Was it a gift? Ask that feedback, because it's so great to understand who's buying our products. Is it people who are the end use customer, or are we selling a ton of gifts? Because then we can change our messaging too. We can be like, if I'm doing ads to women and I find out men are buying these female products for them, let's start targeting men. This is all the kind of feedback that we want to get, and it helps us increase the lifetime value of a customer. What we want to do is make sure that we're re-engaging with them. Not only will you send out this email asking them about this product, but now they're on their newsletter list. So we're going to stay top of their mind once a month in order to be like, oh yeah, okay, wait, she loved that ring that I just bought her. Why don't I get her the stackable? Or, you can be like, oh, I loved that foundation that I took a chance on with a new brand. I'm going to try their skincare line. It's all those things that we want to do in order to create that brand loyalty and, more importantly, the lifetime value. The next thing I want to talk to you about is customer journeys. And I am only going to barely touch the surface of this, because there are millions of options that you can do based on what you're selling, who you're selling to. Is it a service, or are you just trying to get eyeballs? You're not even actually selling something. There are so many opportunities here. But basically what a customer journey is where they first meet your product or service or website, how they sign up, and then what their journey looks like after that fact. Are they signing up and then making a purchase? If they make a purchase, what path does that put them on in our communications? If they don't make a purchase, how does that look? If they fill up their cart, but then don't make the purchase. So as you can see, this is like a giant web that can go in a million different directions. And if you have a really great automation set up, whether you're using MailChimp or HubSpot or whatever software that is, it's really important to set these up to maximize your customer journeys. Once you can start seeing what people are reacting with and what's working, we can just like go even harder into that. Now, if you're a big service, like say a renovation company or you're selling cars or something to that effect, we also want to build up the sales funnels, which means we're not actually asking them to buy or do anything at the beginning. We're just asking them to be nudged a bit further down the line to final purchase. We know that most homeowners aren't going to actually move every week, so it's not something that they're going to buy each week, but making sure they're in our funnel and we're building up that trust with them so when it does come time to buy or sell a home, we have that relevant information for them and know what kind of content they've clicked on, which is also imperative. So as you can see, this is a really robust topic that we can get into in a million different ways. So I would love to chat with you about your email strategy and making sure that we are really making the most out of someone's direct inbox. Just be sure that you're using best practices no matter what kind of communications you are putting together in your emails. This means smart copywriting, concise copywriting. This means buttons that don't just say read the blog, but something that actually adds the value, like get the recipe. So even though it's on a blog platform, what am I getting out of this? So if someone is downloading a movie or a free video, say watch the tutorial or learn about email marketing, whatever that is. Was a bit meta, but whatever that is that they're doing, it's really imperative that you are adding that value for them, making sure that the brand is intact, making sure that you're concise, the images are great, all the links are working, all those perfect best practices around what to actually build a nice email. And then we're making sure we're being really tactical about which way and direction that we're going with those pieces of content. Do you guys have any questions about that? Probably a million because it is such a big topic, but I would love to see them below in the comment section. Make sure to ring the bell and subscribe so that you don't miss these videos, and give me a thumbs up if you liked this video and leave me some feedback. If you didn't like it, that's cool too. Just put a thumbs down, but let me know why, and I can hopefully dive a little deeper into the topic that you are curious about. That's it for today, you guys. We'll see you back here soon.